yesterday regarding the 10 tests of Avram, as it says in the Mishnah, that Avram was tested with 10 tests. Always mention that we find the number 10 repeating itself multiple times. Avram was tested with 10 tests. There were 10 plagues in Egypt. There were 10 commandments. What is the basis? A continuous repetition of the number 10. 10 is a minyan, a quorum, which is considered a microcosm of the Jewish people, is 10 men, but it's 10. Less than 10, you're individuals. 10 is an entity, which takes on a special value. What is 10? So I mentioned many times, Rabbeinu Bachya and Rashi Pirkei Avos explain that we find, the Mishnah tells us in Pirkei Avos, Basar Maimoros Nivra Olam. The world was created through 10 utterances of God. So the profile, the number, and the context which God chose to bring existence into existence is 10. But what's the objective of the 10? Of those 10 expressions? To bring this world into existence, which is only the setting for the Torah. As we had mentioned, that the Midrash tells us, Estokol baraiso bari alma. God looked in the Torah and he created the world. Meaning the world, the blueprint for existence is the Torah itself. Just as in the Torah itself, there's nothing superfluous. Everything is exact. As David Mel says, Torah Hashem Temima, the Torah of Hashem is perfect. Identically, the world itself, reflecting the profile or the need to facilitate all aspects of the Torah, reflects exactly the setting for the application of the Torah. Therefore, it's Asar Maimoros Nivra Olam. Therefore, it was created through 10 utterances, because what is the objective of this creation? The objective of that creation is the Aser Sadibros, 10 commandments, as the Rabbeinu Saadia explains that within the 10 commandments, you have all 613 mitzvos contained within the 10 commandments themselves. The 10 commandments encompass all the mitzvahs of the Torah. So, therefore, as a result of that, it's 10. Because the objective of creation is ultimately to arrive at Sinai, for us to say Nasav and Nishma, to hear the 10 commandments of God. I pointed out, we find that Avram Avinu, that after Yitzchak, after the Akedah, he had instructed Eliezer, his servant, to go locate a wife for Yitzchak, which is the future matriarch of the Jewish people. And he gave very specific instructions of who is qualified to be the matriarch, or who's not qualified to be the matriarch. And he even adjured Eliezer that if he should not abide by those instructions, he will forfeit his share in this world and the world to come. That's how serious it was. And of course, it was somebody from his family. It turned out to be Rivka, his niece. And Eliezer had said to him, Eliezer was a tzaddik. Eliezer was a disseminator of all Avram's Torah. What about my daughter? I have a devout daughter. Why isn't she qualified? Eliezer was from the Canaanites. He was a descendant of Chum. And Avram said to him, we are from Shem. We are from a blessed stock. You're from a cursed stock. A blessed stock cannot cleave with a cursed stock. Meaning, the Jewish people are the eternal people. As a result of that, there can't be any flaw within the foundation of the Jewish people. Therefore, your daughter, she may have this great share in the world to come, but to build a Jewish people, that she should be a matriarch, she doesn't qualify. When Avram had sent Eliezer to locate this potential wife, which turned out to be Rivka. It says he had given him, he had taken 10 camels, Asura Gemalim, and he had given him a document saying that Yitzchak is the heir apparent and inherits all the wealth of Avram. That this should be an incentive for the family to release their daughter into the domain of Eliezer representing Yitzchak. The Torah makes it a point. Eliezer took 10 camels with the wealth of his master on them. So we asked then, what does the Torah have to point out how many camels he took? He took 10. And if he would have taken 15 camels or 8 camels, what difference does it make? Why is the Torah making it a point? It was 10 camels. So we explained then, because what was the objective of this mission? The objective of the mission was to locate the matriarch, because without the matriarch, a patriarch means nothing. Because the ultimate objective was to father a Jewish people, that ultimately there should be a Yaakov, there should be 12 tribes who have the potential to stand at Sinai and say Nasav Nishma. The 10 alludes to the fact that the objective of this mission is to find the qualified matriarch, that there should be a people to accept the Aser Sadibros at Sinai. So that's the 10. The objective of the 10 Makos, which were all revealed miracles, the 10 plagues in Egypt, the Jews were pagans at the time, was to somehow to wean them from their idolatrous beliefs, to be able to appreciate and understand that there's nothing in existence which is not dictated and willed by God himself. So it was Esemakos, 10 plagues. Why 10? Because again, the 10 was to create that setting to qualify the Jews, to launch them on that trajectory that when they stand at Sinai, they should be able to say Nasav Nishma. That's why it was 10. I mean, the Mishnah in Pirkei Avos says there were 10 miracles at the sea. Again, 10. Always the repetitive, because all that is the lead up. The lead up is to lead up to Aser Sadibros, which is what? Which is the objective and the purpose of all existence for that reason. So Avram Avinu was tested with 10 tests. One of the tests was, Lech lecha mi'artzecha. Leave your land, your homeland, your countrymen, and your family. You must disassociate yourselves. That was a test. It would have been enough for God to say to Avram, Lech, go. But he says, Lech lecha. What is the meaning of Lech lecha? Go for yourself. It's in your best interest to go. And Rashi says, Lech lecha la'adoscha l'tovoscha. It's for your benefit and for your goodness. That's the lecha. Why? Why is it better he should go? Because if he goes, what level of beneficiary will be? Because there I will make you into a great nation. Here you will not have children. In addition, there you will have the renown. Here in Choron, in Ur-Kasdim, you're a pariah. You came out of the kiln, but you're not going to have the renown and the attraction to impact the world. But when you go to Canaan, Odia Tivacha B'olam, you'll become a world-renowned personality, and people will gravitate to you. That's l'cho. So what's the incentive? We explained yesterday, what Avram Avinu had endured. He was persecuted. He was in hiding in a cave for years because he was a fugitive. His own father informed on him that he destroyed the idols to be killed. So what love is there between Avram and his countrymen and his family and that whole location? Hashem says, go to paradise. A person would run. But yet Avram is conflicted here, and there's a test. And he met the challenge. What's the test? So we explained yesterday that Avram Avinu believed that he'd be able to make a difference if he'd remained, and ultimately he would change his family, he would change his countrymen, and he would impact on them. And as we said, what was the major feature, a characteristic that Avram possessed, Hakor Satov. He was anything he was a beneficiary of, he recognized it, and therefore he wanted to reciprocate. He had a tremendous sense and debt of gratitude, the ultimate debt to his father, to his family. His father brought him to existence. His family impacted on him. Even when you have negative, there's a takeaway from the negative to stay away from the negative. So you grow and develop. His countrymen. His debt of gratitude to all of them was enormous. Because as great as he was, it was only due to all the challenges that he had there. So how could he leave? Why do you want to reciprocate? Because you believe you'll make a difference. Hashem says, you're not going to make a difference. And the Midrash says, it's like, Slucha shel flytone bebeis hakvaros. If you have a flask of perfume in a cemetery, the dead cannot benefit from the fragrance of that perfume. But if you take that flask, mibein hamesim, from between the dead, and you put it among the living will be able to benefit from that. Where are the living? Where are those who are going to be impacted by your influences, by your dialogues? The land that I will show you. So what's the objective in his existence? Avram understood what is his greatest debt of gratitude is. His debt is to Hashem. That's his debt. So even to change his family, that's the ultimate payment of debt to bring them to truth. Hashem says, you will not bring them to truth. These people, they will not be impacted by your influences. So what's l'cho, la'noscho, tovoscho? It's for your goodness and your benefit. It's not something we're talking about the physical. It's all that, it's the same objective. The reason why you don't want to leave is because you have a debt of gratitude. But ultimately, that debt of gratitude, which is ultimately to Hashem, will only be able to be paid only in the land that I will show you. For why? Because firstly, there you're going to have a son. Your son will be your successor. He will carry on your work. So as a result of that, you're going to create a setting that will continue to be a continuum. Here, there's no continuum, because here you're not going to have a son. Secondly, there you're going to have the renown that you'll be able to impact on all humanity. Here you're going to be limited. Therefore, the ultimate payment of debt of gratitude is there. Whatever that location will be, it's not here. So we're not to l'chor that Avram needed incentive. Because if he didn't have the incentive, he wouldn't have gone. Because the only thing that kept him back was the debt of gratitude, which is ultimately to bring them to truth. Hashem says that debt, you can't pay that. Because these people are gone. You want to pay, you want to express your gratitude to me and present it to humanity, it's only the land that I will show you. That's l'cho, lech l'cho, la'nosel tovoscho. You know, we had learned in the Chovos HaLevavos that people make a big mistake. People are great, Talmidei Chachomim, great Torah sages, but they don't do kiruv. They don't bring a person back to Judaism. He says the opportunity they're missing is not to be imagined. Why? Because if you take a person and you bring him back to truth, and he becomes an observant Jew, and he serves God as he's meant to serve God, that person now will be himself, his children, his family. You created an entity which the whole objective of existence is for that reason. It's similar to what Avraham Avinu had done. So all the people that one person, whatever emanates from him, whatever evolves from him, is attributed to that person who impacted that person's life to bring him to that truth. That's the ultimate hanoscha. This is l'cho, lech l'cho. And Avram appreciated what that was more than anyone else. Therefore, immediately, he left. And as I said, the test was, he didn't say to God, let me try just once. He was totally negated. The moment Hashem says, you can't, picked himself up, and he left immediately, without any level of hesitation.
Rabbi?